tight.
Ah.
Enjoy your sweet dreams.
Okay, hello everyone. I was busy typing stuff. I was busy writing, and I did not realize it was already 7. So I may have missed time. Hello everyone. I just very quickly setting some stuff up. Wasn't 8 PM supposed to be? It was, and I decided to stream a bit earlier. I'm going to be spending some time with Kat and some friends afterwards, so I decided to start a little bit earlier first. Just, I need to find things. Okay, I think that's it. There we go. That's updated a bit. Alright, there's that's stream elements up. What am I missing? I am missing the chat. I need to actually have the chat open in order for me to see things. Let me find the chat. So you read Vigil already, right? Yes. And I must admit, I quite enjoyed it. I found the thing with Columbia quite amusing. Where am I at? I am at a thing. Oh yeah, I was getting chat out. Pop out chat. Put that to the side. Change that. Change that.
Enjoy your sweet dreams
All right.
while you still can.
Thank you, Lapland. I think that's everything set up now. Yep, there we are. There's stream elements, there's Discord. Okay, I can just go straight to Intermezzi. Walk in the dust. Now, if I remember correctly, there isn't... Nope, that's it. Just the one thing. Okay, hopefully that sounds good. I quite like music. It kind of reminds me of something. I can't think of what it is. I mean, it's something vaguely fantasy, but I just can't think of what it is. How's the Vigilo? I quite liked it. There were some parts that I was sort of looked at and it was like, I'm not entirely sure I understand what's going on, but I feel like that I had more questions than answers for half of the stuff. Doctor can be very scary enemy to the shady businessman. Yeah, originally I found the whole idea of Mama John's to be quite funny. Like, oh, haha, Papa John's, you know, hiding from the copyright trademark thing. And then I read the thing, it's like, yeah, I don't like them. I like the idea of them just going to customs and saying, yo, we've got illegal shit here, just to force that company to, like, bury everything. It was top tier. Just... I do find it weird though, it was, like, what was it? It was only 4 days or something? It doesn't seem like a long time to get jail time for that, but I don't know. And took off one again. Oh, speaking of Columbia. The last story of Doctor in Parts. Yeah. If I remember correctly. Didn't Parts basically just ghost him. Or no, it was like there's no, you don't have access to that, and it was like, oh well, fuck you then. Other than sad, it didn't read it on stream. I'm still glad that you read it. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably I'll most likely be going back to it every now and then anyway, simply because I did sort of. I read it quickly. I read quite quickly when I'm not reading out loud, but I do tend to read a bit too fast for my own good sometimes. Anyway, so the arrival of a squad from Colombia throws an unremarkable Sargon village into turmoil. Hi, Jackal. How are you doing? Okay, so this is Sargon. I think this is actually... Is this the first event or story that I've done that's in Sargon? I mean, it's been mentioned a few times, but I don't think I've ever actually been there. Maybe on one of the CCs. I think I vaguely remember playing a map like this. So maybe it was one of the CCs. Gavial ones. Gavial event 1 and 2 are Sargon. Is that also the Gavial altar event though? Or is that just on the holiday place? I think that's just in the holiday place. Oh, it was as well. Okay. I admittedly I didn't play as much of the Gavial event when I first started because I was quite low level, so I did about up to the point where it was over leveled for me because I didn't have any high level people at the time. Durin City is within the territory of Sargon. Ah, okay. Yeah, there's quite a lot about that event I don't actually know much of, despite starting the game at the time, because I was still very new to it. I wasn't paying much attention to things and such. Anyway, so shit's gonna go down then. I was also... Hang on. I need to just sort of point this out. So, Colombia goes to a Sargon village and basically makes things go to shit. If I'm reading that correctly. I like the let's just say subtle hints to real world events. just yes, of course, Colombia going to Sargon. I bet that happens multiple times. Sargon must have a lot of originium to mine. Okay, I'm over leveled for anything that happens here anyway, so it's fine. Modern day. 2:48 PM, clear. Central Sargon, Ibut region. Ibut region. Nameless town. Is a town truly nameless if you call it the nameless town? That is still technically a name. Heavy rain. I feel like I know of you. No one here. We still haven't seen a trace of them. Did they get caught up in something? She is in a video game. She's a video game for PS3. Wow. I do like... Oh, speaking of designs that I really like this design. Hello. Are you playable? I think it would be mighty fine if you're playable. But as I was going to say, I quite like the design of the rooms and the interiors. Yes, it's playable. Ooh. AoE sniper. Oh, okay. Ah, interesting. Admittedly, I thought he would be like more of like a spread shot type of person. Anyway. Strange. This is exactly where we agreed to meet up, right? Also, I just love his shirt. I would love to have a shirt like that. Who, Cesar? I thought you got him already. Do I? I'm gonna have to look that. I'm gonna have to look at that now. Surely I would have noticed if I got him. Oh, I see the grenade the grenade belt. Yeah, that's a grenade launcher. I'm guessing kind of like the Chinese like the grenade launcher thing, or similar design. It does look like it would break open. Anyway, our coordinates check out. We can't rule out a sandstorm. Let's stay calm. Cesar, this isn't good. Hey, now. They're not here yet. But what good is it being so grim? Are we just going to have a staring contest? I want your shirt. I don't mean that in any way other than I just like the design. Now's not the time for video games, though. Man after my own heart. Why did you bring that along? I'm just picturing him now with like a Nintendo Switch or like a PSP. Just... It's just there in the corner, already on the game. Like in the middle of what's like an abandoned city that's probably got some form of bandits around here. Not important. Something must be wrong. We should have at least gotten contact at a set time. Shouldn't we do something or other? Don't worry so much. What can we even do? The best plan is to just sit here and wait for an answer. But it's been too long. Hold on, there's... Oh, you! Good morning. Oh, okay. Heavy rain, cool it. Sorry, I struck on reflex. Wait, they did another attack sound immediately after he told her to cool it. Does she keep attacking, like, immediately and then apologize? It's like one for good measure, just to be on the safe side. Oh, yeah, by the way, sorry. Hey, an arms dealer is also people. Game for anyone. Oh, your looks deceive. You're quite the quick-tempered girl. This will only damage your first impressions, though. Oh yeah, that's true. That did sound like an explosion. Yeah, like call it shoots grenade. This is the Reef Steep Black Market, and we're all in business here. I trust we have words for each other, so no need for an armed conversation, yes? Does Sargonian have a official, like, you know, language reference in the same way other places do? Like, is it based on, like, Pashto or what, one of the other languages? I was going to sound smart, but I've now forgotten every single name of the languages there. But still, you know, you get the point. Is there a reference to it, or is it just there? Or she hit the wall and the second sound was pulling it back out. True. They do sometimes use the specific sounds rather liberally. And it's kind of hard to tell what they're trying to do with what the sound is. Region-wise, it is like Sumeru, but ruling-wise, it's like Dubai. But except Sargonese can't remember any details mentioned. Okay. What day is it today? Why would the Sand Soldier be here? Oh, you recognize me. The head intel peddler of the Reef Steep Market, the puppeteer of the vast majority of all armed conflicts in Ibut, styled by the locals as Suzu. In ancient tongue, it entailed a charm, or perhaps a talisman. But I know what lies behind your new name, Sand Soldier. What's a major player like you up to here? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I just want to have a chat with you two, with, Rhode Island. Or perhaps I've disrupted your original itinerary. Ah, she speaks it too, I guess. Where are our operators? Oh, so you're from Sargon too, then? Good. Let's get right to the point. Your operators are safe and sound. Your batch of experimental medical material also untouched. Where are they? Who knows? You... Heavy rain, rein it in. You deliberately used that word, didn't you? Yes, rein it. Quite right, rein it in. You haven't even the capital to start a conflict with me here. Compared to how valuable your pharmaceutical materials are, a few porters can't be worth much in my concern. Yes, there is a personality. You have your eyes on those materials. And if I nodded yes? Let our operators go. We'll hand over the goods. How about that? Oh, as simple as that. But all I took was a few employees. Now I'm a little skeptical. You remind me of like half of the arms dealers in NCIS. Your goods might have had a small footprint, but they're not cheap. It doesn't seem like Rhode Island Pharmaceuticals is so profligate a company. Why not just say profitable? Would you really be so willing to give them up? I'll stop you right there. Forget market value. Human life is the most precious thing to us. A perspective bursting with humanity, but who'll step up to weigh them, then decide their worth? Will a certain Kalt'tsit? You nabbed our contract. You know Dr. Kalt'tsit? No, it's a very common name. Over these years, I've sought so many people in error, so many. See, I think that's bullshit. I feel like Kalt'tsit's a little bit too of a unique name. There's not many names out there that have that same kind of pattern of spelling. Like, literally the only other name I can think of that's similar in how it's written is a Sarkaz name. Of which there is only one. He's a bad liar for a dealer. Back to our original topic. Oh, my apologies. Your people are actually waiting right outside, and I have no interest in your goods. You troll. Heavy rain. I'll go check now. You stay alert. As you wish. Huh. The fixer from the black market wouldn't come here just to scare our new recruits, would he? Rhode Island and the Sargon black market are far from far from bosom friends. What 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 kind of terminology is that? Bosom friends. It makes it sound more like a booty call. Unless that it really is what he's referring to. We only had to take this plunge after some of our drugs got jammed up in Colombia. Oh, hey, that's the Vigilo thing, isn't it? The damn pizza company. Oropathy waits for no one, correct? That's all. That's all this is. There should be no conflict between us. I've heard of you before. The armaments tuner bridge. Having worked for 3 different arms dealers in the past. A fine reputation. Oh, I believe you're called Cessa now. Her name is a romanicization of the Russian word for calcite, a carbonate material. Okay, interesting. Ah, I probably should have put those two things together when I first saw the name. Mama John, they're more like a multi-industry corporation. Yeah, yeah, I saw them in when I was reading through Vigilo. And also they appear in like some of the summer events and that. I just always found it funny because they basically are Papa John's, and I always find that really funny that they're just sort of named after a pizza company. And I just cannot take it seriously because of that. We mostly saw their ad sale candy. Really? You make a good. Oh, you make too much of me. I kind of hope or wish that there are other companies in Colombia that are also like very obviously inspired by real American companies, but changed around. I know you've got like Raytheon and whatever their equivalent is, but I like also imagine like things like House Depot or something stupid like that. Just random things like Burger Hut. Just you just get all of that sort of stuff, and like literally every single company in Colombia is just literally just a flipped non-copyright version of a well-known company. Like I just like one of the most like something that's so lazy but done completely deliberately just for the sake of hilarity. I think that would be really funny. Well then, what gives you an interest in Rhode Island? McDonald's. Oh yeah, that's isn't that like quite a common one in anime? Like, isn't there quite a few McDonald's around? During a routine during a routine probing of accounts, a completely watertight transaction came to light. You must know, not one sheaf of gold in the reef step passes out of my notice. I've never heard of a sheaf of gold before. And no, no cause for worry. You haven't exposed any leverage, and as I've already said, your transaction doesn't interest me. It's just a signature on the contract that I mind. Come, I have time to spare. Tell me, what kind of place is Rhode Island Pharmaceuticals? Well, we're primarily a mercenary group that occasionally does drugs along the side. Trek upon terror as millions of lives. Whomst? 22 years ago. Blimey. That's going back quite a bit. That's, what, 1076, I think. Because it's what, 1098? And at least killing and killing at least 400 people over the weekend. Yeah. Oh. Immediately into the gunfire. I guess Columbia's already here. Central Sargon, Ibut region. The town of Redhorn. I'm assuming this is the nameless town. Or maybe not. They're firing. Ambush! Ambush! Withdraw our cover. Ah! Are they mad? With this many civilians around? Quick, hide here. They look like the same people who jumped us in... Is it near Kazimierz? I think. I'm trying to think of like the Granny and the Knight's Treasure story, and later in the Salviento story as well. The same sort of design. Unless it's just reused. Scaddy's XP grind. Shit, close. Thanks. That's an explosion. Oof. Fire! Fire! My house! Sound of what exactly is the sound being referred to here? Is it the sound of the bolt going through, or is it the sound of the gargling being made? Although apparently you're actually silent when that happens. I'm not entirely sure how that's supposed to work. Hurry! Hurry! Too many civilians getting caught up. Are they trying to pull the Lord Emir of Ibut's whole army in? The Lord Emir's army? How do you know they weren't the army in disguise? Maybe they mean the Urk sound? I suppose, but it seems a bit weird to then clarify. You mean... Look at this. The red mark. You picked this off one of the corpses. I did. We've been fooled by our own. The situation here is a complete mess now. You might not even get it if I give you the whole lecture. It's way more than just us who wanted to ransack that squad. Damn it. Grab it and turn it into cash. Oh, grab it and turn it into cash, my arse. This is a full-blown war now. The sentry sent me all the coordinates before going black. There's 4 different identifiers all crawling in this one area. Do you understand what this means? Either we break through the line and earn big, or we still have the chance to surrender right now. God damn it. This is insane. Oh. Oh, that's a rather young-looking arms dealer. Well, I suppose he probably wouldn't have been an arms dealer at this time. 22 years ago. I wonder how old he is, or how young he is in this. Should be alone here. In comes a random person. Who? Oh, there it is. A child? Why are you carrying a body? Get out of here already. Hold on, your clothes. You're a Colombian? You're from the Sand Soldiers. Oh, there it is. B8 here. We have a survivor. A Liberi child. Carrying a grown man's body. Hey, hold it right there. Alright, kids. You all heard that. The Sand Soldiers still have one left alive. We need to bring him over. There's still a chance our target fell into someone else's hands. Just in case. Kill every last one you come across. Doesn't matter if they're the Lord Emir's. Even if Padisha Murad himself is here. He has to die too. Oh, I wonder who that person is. Remember, a silver box. I want to be sitting on that Singing before the sun goes down. God, there's another mercenary group. How many mercenaries are in this one area? Not including what seems like the official army as well. Padisha. Oh, did I mispronounce it? I might have misread where the letters were. We've intercepted their comms band. It seems the Sand Soldiers still have a survivor. A child, carrying a body. Probably a comrade. I think he's got what... Oh, Padisha. Yeah. Yeah, Padisha is after. I feel... Am I going to have to get used to another round of names and words that I will struggle to pronounce? I thought I got over this arc of awkward stuff to say. I suppose, to be fair, it's not as difficult as Polish, but still. Not one team's retreated from that town yet. Chances are they're all still looking for the target. Of course, everyone's swarming that tiny town. Everyone swarming that tiny of a town at one... Oh, that's tiny of a town. Okay, I get what you mean now. Everyone swarming that tiny of a town at once is just going to add to the chaos. Waste time and nothing else. At least there's vows. Exactly. Hold on. Our caster's got news. Something's up. What? There's a freight truck. Registration... Come on. That's not even... That's Colombian. Why am I struggling? What the hell is... Toronto? Toronto? Toronto. There's a freight truck. Registration Toronto, Colombia. Parked near the Central Smoke Bazaar. A woman and a monster. Monster? What monster? Oh. Line cut off. He gets careless too. No. His ambush point is at least a kilometre out from the bazaar. It shouldn't have been that fast. Not unless whatever team this is knew the topography here, like the backs of their hands. Or maybe they're just experienced enough to blow anyone off the sand. Could it be someone from Vovir? Or some other cutthroat here on Columbia's dime? I've seen that name before. Isn't that also a name of one of the races or sub-races? Didn't Tallulah get called that by the Imperial people as well? Wyverns, yeah. I was gonna say, didn't the Emperor's Blades or whatever they were called, didn't they refer to Tallulah as that? But that didn't make much sense because I thought Tallulah was a Draco. But I'm assuming in this case that was probably more of a group name because the way they referred to it. Yeah, but Dracos are rare and similar to them in appearance. Oh, okay. They misidentified, right. Okay, but Tallulah is a Draco, alright. Yeah, I did assume that was the case because, like, I assumed it was a mistake on the soldier's part, so that makes sense then. Let's watch this unfold first. Why are there people talking right outside my house? That is so annoying. Shut up. Why did teacher... Our target's around here. He can't get that far carrying a body. Guys, can you guys just leave the kid alone, please? We've got trouble. No hesitating. Kill. Am I safe? Bitch, does that sound safe? Teacher, come on, wake up. I can't stop the blood. You still haven't taught me so much. What do you want me to do? Target found. Don't move. 1 more inch and I'll cut your head off. You literally already said kill. I don't think you're fooling anyone here. Scared stupid, aren't you? Talking to a dead guy. Uh-huh. Put the idiot on your back down and tell me, where is it? I don't know. Don't try to fool me, you worthless... Huh? Is this the Sand Soldier leader's body? What are you... Wait. Do you have it on you? Don't touch him. Gah. Who do you think you are? Piss off. The silver combination box. So here it is. Let go of it. Get out of my way. Now we've got the target. We don't need to leave any survivors. Don't blame me, kid. It's just my job. Ah, monster. Kill. Them all. Well, except for the kid. Kill the rest of them. What the hell is that? What is that? Hey, is anyone there? We've run into we've run into an unidentified machine. No, creature? What the hell kind of thing are you? Don't get any... Why aren't my bolts going through anything? Oh, why are my bolts not doing anything, rather? Don't get any closer. Any closer and I'll kill you. With what? Your bolts did nothing. Yes. I forget Monster has a little bit of a personality. Just... Oh, that is such an awesome response. It's like... I just imagine this guy just whacking it with his machete and it's just like... Before his eyes, the monster skewers the ruffian. It lightly unfolds its body, like a stretch in the early morning. Oh, that's an outfit. Monster. Ah, yes, responds. How does it respond? You know, give me a little bit of show, don't tell. Does it say something? Does it look? Does it... The boy is frozen in place, having long lost the voice to cry out. He holds only an ice-cold carcass, the blood of the dead clotting on his chest, reminiscent of a flower. Elliot, you are safe. Who are you? How do you know my name? That's not a playable outfit. Why the fuck is it not a playable outfit? Hypergriff, why do you do this to me? I don't even have the character, I'll still get the outfit. I know every last esteemed scientist of the Blaine Formative Technologies Research Institute. That is a mouthful. because she hates money. Fun fact, Monster can speak like us, as mentioned, Kalt'tsit's alternative timeline. Protect? Wait, did I miss it? Oh, I misread a thing. But none of you know what kind of plots this whole affair has been drawn into. I'm here to stop you and here to protect you. Okay. You're already late. Too late. You didn't let your fine teacher's legacy fall into those conspirators' hands. You've done well enough. What do you mean, protect? You want to protect these? The blueprint? The sample? Not me? Oh, sorry, that's not a question. You want to protect these? The blueprint? The sample? Not me, and not teacher. You're just like them. Teacher's dead. All the people who were helping us are dead. You're just fighting over this case. You... Advisor, we've confirmed 3 mercenary teams hired by Lord Zamir. Lord Zamir? I assumed it was a person. Across the map, as well as 1 Sarkaz unit on the cliff outside the town. Affiliation unknown for now. According to our plans, we still have 7 minutes. Ah, so you're advisor at this moment. I found 1 survivor, sample in hand. The evac route is secure. Converge in 3 minutes. Tell me, Elliot, the Voiva soldier you're carrying on your back, what did he die for? Shut up. Right now, you stand here, you live, and you carry what every mercenary here wants. The squad operated under the name Sand Soldiers, but in actuality, all that came to Sargon was a research team and a typical security force from Toronto. This is definitely Kalt'tsit, you can tell by how much I'm having to read. Whether or not he persisted in his duty until the end, whether or not he paid mind to your safety until the end, didn't he entrust a deep responsibility to you? Whether or not because of your own immature temperament, are you going to make a total waste of all your soldiers' full efforts? I only need an answer. As long as I can ensure that this prototype blueprint doesn't fall into any Lord Emir's hands, I will not go out of my way to mind anything else. I hope for you to understand this. High alert. You still aren't willing to speak much. But I remember. The man on your back is Professor Thorne, Blaine Formative Technologies Research Institute head researcher. That is such a long title. What is it with these Colombian research companies and having names longer than half the country? He was not a true soldier, yet a true soldier is what he is. You just put him down, or you could be buried together with him in the yellow dust. I trust he believed his death had a purpose, and you should not squander his sacrifice. No. He's already dead. No! This isn't your business. At least give him a decent burial. Monster. What's that ball of light? Lower your head. You want me to bury teacher in here? Professor Thorne is an old friend of mine. The situation is abnormal. We have no chance to more solemnly address his sacrifice. Every person's life is an endless war. On certain motives, his ancestors left Sargon, Wandering again and again, he found a life he could call his own. Yet, in the end, he returned to Sargon's barrens. His cause, his just heart, his thirst for knowledge all arrived at their terminus. The Professor Thorn I knew was in no way unversed in life's affairs. Candidly, he confronted his own death, and until the very end resisted. Elliot, just put him down. This is a respect for the deceased. Surely you understand. He wouldn't have wished to become a burden on your path. Okay. May his soul with the long river return. Voivran, are you from Voivr? May he, as the gravel, pass into eternal tranquility. May he ever hear his homeland whispers. May he, at the other shore, meet the great waves. Our friend rests eternal here. He shall return to the boundless cycle of rebirth. As the woman bowed her head and prayed, it was as if the fire of war too paused for this moment. Time is running short. We've paid what respect we can. Now, you must make a choice. Oh, correct. They are many. But their formation is in loose disarray. As an armed force, they're not in one heart and mind. Before they find us, they'll make their own grave. I remember now. I remember I saw your face before, somewhere, long ago. A teacher introduced you to me. Though you were only a theoretical researcher. I remember, your name is Kalt'tsit? I'm gonna be honest, it's really weird seeing her in anything other than the outfit we always see her in. Especially in something like this as well. You have quite a good memory, Elliot. The young researcher, Elliot Glover, pays no attention to the mysterious woman as she leaves through the door. In a daze, he gazes out at the soil that half-buried his beloved teacher, the air scattered with dust. He thinks to himself, I haven't even the strength to cremate my teacher's remains. It leads him for an instant to mourn. Until the sound of warfare resumes once more. Okay.
行くよ。嵐のように蹂躙してやる。
I'm just gonna cheese it.
I'll take the lead. The rest is up to you guys.
And just do that.
Hey, dummy, bring it on.
That's probably all I'm gonna need. No music? There's music playing. And it's quite loud, according to the desktop audio. There is music? Okay. Yeah, it was a quiet opening. I probably need to... Damn, these guys are persistent. You know what? Screw it.
Who's next?
I mean, I probably didn't need to put her down anyway. I forgot that I had this one over this skill. I thought I had skill 3. Even then, though, with skill 3, I probably didn't need to put X2 down. 22 years ago. 3:09 PM, clear. Central Sargon, Ibut region. Advisor. Confirm retrieval of target. And before any other teams form up to cut us off, pull out of here. Understood. This is the op team. Advanced ops advisor has retrieved the sand soldier survivor, along with target material. Acknowledged. Advisor, recon team has ensured the safety of our route. Alright then, let's go. No one speak all at once. Mr. Elliot, please kindly give that case to us. The boy tightly clutches the case in his hands. Advisor? Leave him be. Pardon me, but we should confirm whether our objective materials are intact and ensure, no matter the circumstances, they're safe under our grasp. You think he'll run? No, of course. Alright, understood. Yes. Why did we stop? Seems we broke down. What's wrong? Caster, come take a look. Couldn't be out of fuel, right? Did nobody inspect before we left base? Who was in charge? J5 from Stouthammer Squad was on vehicle inspection, but they're all on recon team. What should we do? Get in touch with them? Elliot. Huh? Keep that case safe and lower your head. What? Ambush. What just exploded? Whoa! Recon team? Hey, can you hear us? Tell your casters to stop. It's us. Wait, it's us. Monster. That thing in your hand. With vigor, it rouses itself. No, don't be rash. Protect this child. You said that was a bit of a... What's happening? Weren't they with you? Here to help us? Stay alert, monster. Dissatisfied. Ah, but I wanted to kill and maim. Damn it, they split cover and to set up the whole goddamn circus. Whole goddamn circus, really? Attention, Riverblade Squad. All members of Riverblade Squad. The recon team has overtly attacked us, scratching every clause of the contract. Caster division, ready up. Snipers, confirm bearings and prepare to attack. You all copy. The Stouthammer Squad has turned traitor. Fight back. Open fire. In the Barrens, escaping an armed motorcade on foot isn't much of a sagacious choice. Stay here. This is the safest option. Did you plan this too? No. War can bring great profit to Columbia. That certainly is true. I wonder what historical references that's based on. But nobody wants that profit in anyone else's pockets. Dividing up interests isn't just about size, and satisfying everyone is extremely difficult. As their advanced operations advisor, I've given sufficient counsel, including all betrayal possibilities. Right now, there's a war going on outside. Oh, don't be silly. It's just a skirmish. And you're just going to sit in here unconcerned? I have to remind you, Elliot, you also sit here, receiving my protection at that. That's a bit of a... I don't think that made it any better, Kalt'tsit. No, it's this box. They don't have the guts to attack us. I'm the one who's your protection advisor. Discontentedly it gazes afar, like, but I want to go and poke them. It's like a cat that's like tapping at the window because it wants to go outside. I don't intend to retort. They absolutely won't dare destroy an arts prototype that could convert half of Sargon's rainforests into barrens. Despite its disguise as an engine on an all-new power source. What? What are you going on about? Ah, I see you found the... nuclear tests that aren't actually about energy. Wait, hang on. That is the reference. Advisor, we can't hold out for much longer. We need to pull back immediately and change course. Please, bring the survivor with us. We'll ensure your safety. Understood. I have become Arknights, destroyer of wallet. How many withdrew? Less than 20. Wretched losers. Or wretched losses. Let me say again, Captain. Scores of our brothers just died. Thanks to them pulling a heel... thanks to them pulling a heel turn out of their arseholes in the middle of an operation, the company's gonna send people to wipe out every last one of them off the goddamn map. I don't know about that. If the Stout Hammers had this planned in advance, I'm worried the company hasn't got the reach into Sargon. Maybe they made a deal with some Lord Emir, or maybe they just never... Ugh. The advisor and the kid? Right over there. Let me talk with them alone. Eh?
New donation from Knight_Eater.
Hey!
I could write a text like Carl would say it. But here are a few bucks. Thanks for your streams.
Thank you for the donation. And thank you for not giving me a Kalt'tsit style dialogue. That would be a very long text-to-speech. But thank you so much. That's amazing, honestly. Ah. Advisor. Before we entered Sargon, I gave you the heads up. That is my style dialogue, though. The military needed to light a fire in Sargon, and then wait for war to bring riches their way. Factories, mines, the arms trade, every second of its existence, Columbia has been gnawing away at this ancient country, strengthening itself. By the way, I'm an hour late. What did I miss? Not that much, to be honest. I've actually only really played one stage, the first stage. Wow, it's been an hour already. That's been quite a long cutscene. Also, I like this. Columbia has been gnawing away at this ancient city, strengthening itself. They are about as subtle as a nuclear explosion in this event, and I'm really liking it. It's a Kalt'tsit event. Are you really surprised? True. So its military pulled a move, brought about the birth of the Sand Soldiers, had them bring scientific researchers to Sargon to carry out some tech support. But the Bureau doesn't take things that way at all. To be precise, it's the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Arts Units, and Originium, and its background desires that don't take things that way. Ah, it's this group again. They're the ones they're the ones the Doctor declared illegal stuff to. So again, I like that the main big thing for the Colombian bureau is alcohol, tobacco, and isn't that basically the DEA? This is basically the DEA, isn't it? That's drugs, something and something, but they also do like weapons and all that. Yeah. Or ATF. Oh, I suppose ATF as well. I mean, again, it's definitely ATF in terms of like the customs, but like the way they talk about some of this stuff makes it also like alcohol, tobacco, firearms, explosives. Right, yeah. Yeah, I suppose, yeah, I forgot about that, because I forget, because I think of, I saw the alcohol and tobacco and immediately thought of DEA because drugs, but that's a different thing. Now we just need Wagner mercenaries starting a gladiator sport company in... I mean... Probably would, to be honest. They seem like the sort of people who would. As I don't take this away yet. Perhaps Sargon is a backwards, rotting company to some people's eyes, but its ancient wealth and power still suffices to command servitude of all the dust in its sky, to become the desert under the Empire's gaze. I have to say, the Bureau's viewpoint is correct. One portion of Columbia's people has grown narrow-minded with its ballooning riches and power. They mistakenly think they can cause wanton strife in Sargon without paying a price. Well, in our world, they unfortunately can. Any one Padisha's maneuvering is enough to influence those Colombian entrepreneurs. Colombian entrepreneurs' stock prices. Yet, they turn a blind eye to Sargon's vast might. We'll have to lurk a bit. Okay, no worries. Thanks for the lurk, and I hope you have a nice time. Also, a slight warning to everyone, because I do know Americans make up a large portion of my viewership at the moment. I am sorry. There will be quite a lot of bias as long as this topic is being portrayed in the game. I may have just a little bit of a bias. But hey, you've had me go against Ursus, so now it's Columbia's turn. The policymakers are free to be ignorant, and failure in judgment won't harm their core interests. But you yourselves need to know just what it is you're doing. At least you should know. This is the end... This is the... I read that as this is the end of your life. I'm like, oh, Jesus. At least you should know. This and your life or death are symbiotic. The Padishas are the Sargon Empire's chief governors at the core. They're to control the Lord Zamir. Would they have anything to do with the company? You know what it is the company wants, correct? Somehow the more we learn, the more we hate. Yeah. That seems to be a running theme in Arknights, isn't it? Certain high-ranking members of the military have seized some of Blaine-formative technology's principal shareholders, exporting these things to Sargon under unofficial cover in order to fulfill a deal with a Lord Emir. Does Lord Emir have any real meaning in the real world? Like, is that a term for some form of government or some governor-type person? And what they truly desire is to employ these simple, crude methods to set off a power struggle within a boot, because that will turn profit. Emir, I guess? I suppose. But the Bureau believes that if the war spreads to the heart of the Empire, every money-making design will become fly ash. And Emir is an Arabic monarch. Okay. Although I'd say in this case, Lord Emirs seem to be quite a lower level than that, because there seems to be people above them. Or people, at the very least, who have the ability to keep them in check. So the Bureau wants us to retrieve the target, so as to stop the military brass from going a step too far. That I get, but the military is not stupid. It spies within the company. Perhaps you've already guessed who, have bribed the Stouthammer squad to ensure the plans will remain in Sargon. And then a certain Lord Emir can set off war. They had the balls. Aside from the operation advisors, aside from the operation advisors that aren't me, all silently acknowledge this string of activity inside the company. The chief of business has no plans to stand on any side, allowing both parties to hold each other back. It might even bring in bonus grey income, after all. None of this is any kid's business. Elliot Glover, only 13 when he skipped a few grades and graduated, soon entering an academy for sciences and taking up studies in originium technology. 3 years after, this young genius was picked out by Professor Thorne to become, in all aspects, his personal assistant. Okay, so he's at least 16 at this point? Depending on how long he's been with Thorne before this. So he would be at least 38? Yeah. Actually a bit younger than I assumed when I first saw him in the EP. Elliot is a member of the Sand Soldiers, a research team crowned as soldiers who had no idea at all what awaited them in Sargon. They died tragically in a sandstorm without a single clue about anything, and none of us can deprive their last survivor of learning the complete picture. Fine, I get it. No skin off my nose. Now, where were we? Oh yeah. Bureau and military pressured the company, and then in Sargon, all the Lords Emir clashed. Wouldn't that basically make it a civil war if all of the Lords Emir... Because I'm assuming they govern specific regions within Sargon. Wouldn't that basically... Wouldn't that constitute as a civil war if they're all clashing now? We were betrayed from the very beginning, and we jumped into this war knowing scratch all. That's the first time I've ever heard that term, just say fuck all. Where'd they get the balls to do this shit? Now they've thrown us into the desert like garbage. Who can still guarantee things will go how they want? The company never cared about what ultimately ended up in whose hands. Regardless of which of you survived to complete the mission, they'd still pocket a reward. To be precise, even if you all died right here, it wouldn't affect a single coin that falls into their pockets. Wow, this really is America. Because the ever-eyeing Lord Emir and the Padishahs would have helped you settle and follow up on things otherwise. It's only natural they brought in the chaos. The moment you were first drawn into Sargon by that enormous reward, I nearly read that as enamorous, you were already concerned. Sorry, advisor. You warned us out of the kindness of your heart, and you gave our op everything you had too. I respect you a hell of a lot more than I do those cigar munchers all making up absolute shit at their meeting tables. But maybe we still have one other option. Right now, pull out your arms, advisor. I hope this decisive battle can preserve some dignity. You're going to kill her? Why not? That's what our original job really was, after all. Huh? Huh? Wait, is this you also being one of the traitors then? Or maybe not, I don't know. Oh yeah, there it is, yep. Okay, you were one of them. What a moron. With about 20 plus years back, is that just the time when Familiar Texas was still big in Colombia? I believe so, because Texas going to Longman after the family fell apart, well, was destroyed, wasn't that long in the past, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh yeah, don't lose your head, mercenary. I know you've received secret orders from the Chief of Business, but I also trust you understand that right now, following things to the letter will only cut off your own way out. Yeah, you've always given me an omniscient kind of impression. The company sold us out. The Chief of Business sacked us like pawns. The Lords Emir, the Pardishas, and the Colombian military are all itching to kill us and snatch the goods. But we're mercs, and that's just morning coffee to us. As long as I can still make bank, I have no shits to give. You know, who exactly are you going to be getting bank from? Literally every sponsor of this fight wants you dead. They're not going to give you any money. What a pity. I'm just the smallest fry in this whole whirlwind of crisis. But whether it's in the Bureau's interest or the military's, whatever. All that shit makes me dizzy. You're kind of an idiot. You've seen what she does, surely. Like, you know you're not going to win this. Why are you bothering anyway? Even the company thinks you shouldn't hang around here any longer, advisor. This is a good chance. A good chance to make a senior advisor in Sargon disappear. Some folks paid me a lot of money. And I couldn't say if they were the same who bribed the Stouthammers. But none of that matters. I just want to ask you one thing. You've done so much. What was it all for in the end? Columbia, Sargon, perhaps Victoria as well. Uncountable powers all wrapped up in this. And though their lack of foresight led us here, all their innumerable machinations point towards one endgame. War. And war will bring ruin. I simply try to stop this all from coming, despite how weak my influence is. I don't know whether I ought to believe you. Maybe as long as I complete the chief's orders and kill you, the companies will let us back in. Who would trust 16 mercenaries forced to hole up in a cave, a scientist's boy assistant, and a mercenary company's operations advisor? Who would willingly sit down with them to discuss where millions of lives are heading? I'll give you one final heads up. Even if you make the chief of business happy, and make an obstructive advisor vanish in the middle of Sargon, it will not mean you can return home safe. Every hired hand in these yellow dusts believes you made off with the final legacy of the Sand Soldiers, and they will make the choice to exterminate a flock of Colombians who offended their Lord Demir's grace. After you kill me, you want to use Elliot as a bargaining chip, but would you have the leeway for a peaceful dialogue? No, you're right. I've got no chance of making any kind of deal with the people who just killed my brothers. I don't work with the big picture like that. Alright, you convinced me, advisor. I'll put down my crossbow. And you get that, pet out of sight a little. It's like, you talking to me? As if to menace. You know, I should just get a collection of monsters' reactions and just voice over it, even though he doesn't have any lines. Just give him some random personality. Kind of like when people dub R2-D2 and stuff like that. How are you going to proceed? If we keep working together, will you ensure we return to Colombia? Precisely the opposite. If you truly keep working with me, you will only add to the dangers you face. You're kind of driving a hard bargain here. But at the least, I can plot a route for you and help you stow away into Minos. Random, but okay. You must have some contacts there. This is the safest path. The safest path. And you're not even going to go with us? My goal lies elsewhere. There's no way you'd say you prepared this route just for us, right? Don't misunderstand. This is just for those who can get out of here alive, regardless of who they are. Sounds a little like salvation, huh? There's a hint of arrogance behind that word. If you have any misgivings, just treat this as a deal. Alright, alright. Last time I didn't trust you, we ended up right in the frying pan. Maybe this time I ought to be a little smarter. Yes, exactly. You're probably the only mercenary I've seen so far that's actually done a smart decision for once. Well, besides, like, W, I guess. And I suppose Inez? Not Hodor. Hodor's an idiot. Also, I didn't realise Inez was confirmed alive that early on. I thought the chapter 11, chapter 12 trailer, I thought that confirmed it. I didn't realise she had already been confirmed alive. That did sort of surprise me. There was a pic of monster in a bathtub with cucumber slices on his eyes. Maybe that will tell you what kind of personality he has. That is amazing. This is the deal, advisor. I want to use both your lives to buy the lives of me and the brothers I've left. 16 for 2. Very cost effective. Damn right, cost effective. You saw this day coming from miles away, didn't you? I feel so sorry for this poor kid. He's like in a constant state of confusion and disgust. I mean, he certainly had a bad time, don't get me wrong. I certainly understand his feelings, but I feel so sorry for him. It's like, I don't know what's going on and I don't know if I want to know. Where are we heading? Where are we? I want... There's a local place for dealings, which the local arms dealers and underground Originium goods merchants all call the Reef Step Black Market. Oh, okay, so that was a different town then. So the nameless town is a different place. It was just the nameless town. Introduce him to Thasha and Misha. When we find that market, its stowaways can help us out. What's on your mind? I'm thinking about... I just left Teacher's body in that makeshift... I should have... The blood and the screaming. They weren't born yet, though. And I kind of get the feeling he'll probably be a bit too late by the time he's anywhere near Ursus. Advisors, hit the road. What now? Here's the map of the routes the advisor gave us. Not just the names of all the towns, but any messenger stations we can use too. Can you guess how much of this map would be worth alone? Just where in holy hell did she come from? Hell knows. But right now, she's the single straw we've got to grab at. Tear up all identifying marks. Can't keep these Colombian cars anymore. We'll head to the closest city on foot. Could be about 30 kilometers. 30 kilometers in the desert? Are you insane? Okay, whatever. And we'll rent a new ride to get out of here. And we escape just like that? I know what you're thinking, but we still aren't ready for payback. We'll hide out for a bit, then we can go back, deal with all those traitors company side. Who's there? What are you doing here? Have you been following this entire time? So you let the sand soldier go. Now there's a twist. Enemy raid. Snipers. Red. Oh well, so much for them getting allowed. Yeah. Leave 3 alive. Get the casters ready to grill them. See now, I'm not one for racial stereotyping and all, but if you're doing that sort of thing, it's kind of hard to defend the whole devil stereotype that people give you. Deal with all the rest. Have you calmed down some? Counting researchers, sand soldiers were on the scale of 100 people when they left Toronto. You just experienced a massacre. This may be difficult, but you need to return to form as soon as possible. Oh, it does sound quite bad when you say it like that, Knight. Just what do you intend to do? Retrieve the Ark's prototype plans in your embrace. Assuming no mishaps, there should also still be an Iridium crystal sample in there. I'm confused about the whole Iridium crystal sample. Like, surely there's Iridium crystals everywhere. What sample would be important about this particular one? Ugh. This will only delay the outbreak of war, but it will give us enough time. Enough to afford a few of my colleagues in Colombia the chance to try and change course, rather. You hardly even know what that case could unleash. You can't. What kind of sick joke? This is everything the Institute worked for. It's a nuclear bomb in your hand. Or, well, about as close to it. Whether you trust me or not, I know full well just how important, how weighty, results paid for with countless lives are to a theoretical scientist. But I also know, if this thing termed an advanced Originium-powered arts conversion device, what is it with Colombians and having such long names? Just give it a... OPACT. There we go, I'm calling it OPACT from now on. I'm guessing this is based on a time... I'm guessing this is inspired by America before they started acronyming everything. Is given a different application. The sheer harm it can bring about. It really is nuclear. Many were aware of this. Naturally, this included your teacher. You don't mean to say teacher knew we were doing wrong? How dare you suggest... So, this is Sargon. Ah, a time-old charm of a country. Look around here. At the heart of the wild-grown desert. No dependence on nomadic cities. Still so full of life. Surely... in a place like this, wouldn't sandstorms and such be absolutely rife with Originium dust? Wouldn't that be like the single worst thing to deal with? Oh, it is, teacher. Elliot, your mind is wandering. Come here. Let me brush that gravel off your head. Thank you, teacher. Damn, calm down. Just, wow. Teacher, if you were this caring of the woman who tried to woo you, I don't think your family would urge you so hard to get married. Don't poke your teacher where it hurts. Or else you'll be assigned to double next month's experiments. Oof. I actually know that. I actually know that kind of punishment. Ouch. Like, please no. Wouldn't the dust from snowstorms melt into water and enter with a stream? Well, I'm not entirely... I don't know if Originium melts. And I know there is Originium liquid, but I don't know in what form it would melt. I don't know if Originium dust would melt. I imagine it would clump too. So I imagine the snow would form around crystals, because snow typically does form around dust particulates. That's how the crystals of a snowflake form. It starts with normally a speck of dust as a nucleate. So, technically speaking, Originium dust can make snow as ice forms around it to make the snow. Nucleation points and all that, yeah. So snowstorms could also, in theory, have Originium dust. I meant the dust being carried through water. Yeah, so any snow that contains Originium dust in it, if the snow lands on water or it melts and goes into a stream of river, you would probably have Originium dust in the water. Teacher? Not much. Just something that popped into my head. The mountain range at the end of the Barren Lands and the forest on the other side must both be bursting with life too in their own ways, totally unlike the Barrens we're in. Plus active refined states, etc. Also, now that I think about it, so if Originium doesn't dissolve as well, then it being in the water won't be too bad. Obviously, you shouldn't drink it outright, but then you shouldn't drink any water that has any form of rock or crystal in it, because some some crystals are poisonous and will leach into the water, so you shouldn't. That's why when you see people like doing their crystal stuff and they put crystals into water, there's only certain types that they can put into water. Otherwise, even though it doesn't dissolve, it still does it. So if Originium doesn't dissolve, obviously it would still be dangerous to drink water with Originium in it, but you could filter it out, as Gamer mentioned. You could filter it through in the same way that you would filter calcium and other particulates in water. Well, not calcium, but, you know, lime. So calcium carbonate, stuff like that. So it probably wouldn't be that bad. I'm thinking more so the sandstorm and snowstorms in general would be pretty bad because of it blowing the dust. If you have a sandstorm and a non-nomadic city, that Originium dust-covered sandstorm is going to be blowing that dust everywhere. It would be very difficult to not breathe it in. FYI, infectious snowstorms are in fact canon in Arknights. That does make sense. If the Originium dust forms snow around it, it would be part of the snowstorm if it's within an area of a catastrophe. And I imagine there must be a sandstorm version of it. Anyway, oh yeah, I saw that bit. In that rainforest, could there reside people just as unlike those here? What kind of life do they lead then? How does it fare? The rainforest? Why all of a sudden thought, teacher? Elliot, we believe our undertakings are for the benefit of ever more of humanity. For those still without the blessing of Originium technology. I mean, you just read Vigilo. Yep, that is true. See, I don't always maintain stuff. Things go in one ear and out the other sometimes, or I guess through my eyes and out the back of my head. Right. But at times, the fruits of our research may not be implemented as we intended. Perhaps from the start we chose a wrong path. We chose a path wrong. Excessively wrong, and when we realise it, we are powerless to redeem. This is basically Oppenheimer. Huh? I'm just supposing. Provided a day like that dawned. Oh, I'm very familiar with that day. I say as if I was there. We'd have to try and stop this all in its tracks. I think you're thinking of Oppenheimer in regards to the nuclear bomb. I know Einstein was part of nuclear research, but I don't know if he was on the board with the nuclear bomb. Maybe he was, I don't know. But I know Oppenheimer's the one credited for it. But then again, if he was just in charge of it, then he would get the credit for it regardless of who was involved in the team. Now, Einstein was blackmailed by America. That doesn't surprise me. Mr. Thorne, No, it can't be. He was deceived. Thorne's research had been rigged from the start. Wait. Did you... I know we're in deserts and all, but did you really have to do the rigged from the start line? I'm fairly certain that Fallout New Vegas. Yeah, that was very Fallout New Vegas. I've still got to play that game. I've got it in my library. It was. It's just like the game's rigged from the start. Just suddenly monster just shoots him. The capital bounced around to land in his hands, disguised as an exciting investment in the new energy market. Perfectly unscrupulous, giving nobody any doubts. I'd warned him before. I warned him before, rather. I'd warned him before? I warned him before, or I did warn him before. Anyway, why am I nitpicking? That's stupid of me. Anyway, but perhaps the experiment's success and advancement made him put his own misgivings aside. No one is perfect, Elliot, but your labours will not become a catalyst of conflict and death. I came here to ensure that, and I need your assistance. Had warned. I had warned. Okay, yeah, there we go. That does make sense. It's just weird having it shortened. I'd warned. I suppose it makes sense. I guess it's just I read it with like a different, like, you know, you put different stresses on the word, so I guess I just said it in the wrong way, and so it didn't sound right. I wonder what they're going to do with this then. Are they going to try and hide it or destroy it? I mean, surely they're not just going to... I mean, they could take it and repurpose it into an actual energy market thing, like somewhere else. But even if they did, someone will then just use it to make the bomb anyway. But then if they get rid of it, if they destroy it, that basically means a new form of technology that could help the world isn't going to be around. I don't know. Right, you have 5 minutes to gather your thoughts, and then we'll leave. Huh? You want me to go with you? You'd only die here in the Barrens otherwise. I won't deny your gift for the mathematical and applied originium fields, but you don't have even the first idea what vegetation can offer you any moisture content. Well, surely he must know about cactuses. Or cacti, rather. I don't want the last young one who knows the truth to senselessly pass away in front of me. Of course, if you feel your calling is at its end, that you have no need to press onward, I can arrange for your refuge in the Sargon countryside. Just who in the world are you? Why do you speak of everything so downplayed? I'm presently an advanced operations advisor and arts instructor for... I nearly read that as Weinstein. The Western Security Company, Columbia. If I have to repeat myself once more to you... Wait, when did you say that last time? I am Kalt'tsit. Kalt'tsit. I'm just going to put that there. Kalt'tsit. Kalt'tsit. Also, I was paused a little bit because the conversation in chat actually got my attention, so I looked it up. And according to Britannica, Encyclopedia Britannica, yeah, Einstein was threatened by the US with deportation to Germany, and it was enough of a threat to for him to push away from his pacifist stuff and do things. Although I think it's partly a bit of both. I think he was somewhat threatened by America, but I think it was also the threats of Germany as well that pushed him to it. So it's sort of a mix of both of it. But apparently, yeah, he was there. But he wasn't, although he wasn't part of the Manhattan Project, so officially anyway, so I'm not entirely sure how exactly. I'll look more into this. I'm not going to do this on stream. But it seems like he was sort of in it, sort of not. So I'm not entirely sure what he did for them. I'll have to have a look at that later on. Anyway. Look at this contract. What a beautiful signature it is. Hey, yo, you know you're down bad when you're simping for a signature. She mediated between Columbia and Sargon. She toyed with the Lord's Emir and mercenaries in the palm of her hand. She said she came to prevent war, to prevent Sargon's self-destruction. What arresting ambitions. They weren't her truest thoughts at all. Her preparations profound, far-reaching, not to be known by anyone else, influence the fates of many. And we can scarcely see how long the path she walks was, or where it led. This is going to be a long event.
さすがはドクターの指揮。頼りになるよ。
Well, funnily enough, what Gamer mentioned is close to the brief amount that I read. So it seems like he worked on it, but not like officially part of the project, but worked on something, and then that was then taken and used. But I don't know. Long by general measuring or Kalt'tsit scales? I'd say long by Kalt'tsit scales, but that's only because there's more Kalt'tsit in this. I don't know what this song is, but it reminds me of that song, and it's annoying me now. It's the Kalt'tsit event. If it's not at least the length of a novel, yeah, true, fair. X stages don't have stories, that's fair. X-Men theme? I don't know the X-Men theme. Huh. Wait, does that come from X-Men? No, it's not. I don't think so. I'm fairly certain it's from some fantasy thing. Because that's what I'm thinking of when I hear this. I like the look of this map. It's a shame it's a tutorial, because I very much would have liked to play on a map like this. I mean, look at it. It is literally just a single... It's literally just a single choke point. Why is this only a tutorial? Actually, what does it say? New combat methods employed by these well-funded mercenaries demand extra attention during battle. Mobile tactical hangar. Deploys drones as needed to assist enemy combatants. Oh, okay. A bridge map. Yeah. Hopefully it's not a bridge too far. Oh wait, I remember now. I remember a stage where there was like a sandstorm, and basically if you weren't, you know, if you weren't behind cover or something, you were going to take damage. A little bit like the fire wave thing, but more persistent. And more damage over time, as opposed to instant lots of H. That's from R6 event. Or it can't be, because I didn't play R6. That was long before I started. Both mechanics were used in CC maps. Okay, that might be what I'm thinking of then. I might be thinking of the CC map. There's only one enemy. Melantha can handle this. Why is Melantha referring to herself in third person? Why is Melantha referring to... Wait. Her design looks different.
I'll do my best.
Oh yeah, it is.
Please give me instructions.
That's a different outfit. Is that... Well, I'm assuming it is available because we can see it. That's a base, really?
What are your orders?
I don't recognize it. Has it really been that long? I think I've got a different skin on her at the moment, so maybe I've just gotten so used to that. A drone? Where did it... This is a combat method, particularly to some mercenaries. In battle, they will call it the mobile tactical hangar. Oh, I thought it was on our side. For air support drones. To assist them in combat. Once the call is successfully made, the tactical hangar will dispatch an air support drone to make directly for the target indicator based on the coordinates. Okay. Air support drones will only begin assisting in combat once they reach the called coordinates and will not move again after that. I'm alone. It's okay, Melantha. I'll come be your medic. Oh, that's... Wow, okay, of course he dropped bombs. That's a lot of damage. Can we just, I don't think this is gonna work. Oh, it disappears, okay. We held out. But why is the enemy drone gone? Mercenary organizations are relatively cost-conscious. Each air support drone carries limited fuel and will automatically retreat sometime after launch. Ah, they're cheap as fuck. Okay. If they're all that stingy, won't we be fine just leaving them alone? I mean, they're still shooting at you. I get this is technically a game where you have life points and all that, but surely from your perspective, if they hit you once, you're dead. like I don't think it matters so much if they're only around for 5 minutes, if they can still shoot you in the face. Though they won't pose any threat to the life points, they are exceptionally powerful while assisting in combat, and are difficult to attack. For example, attacks from the fragmentation type air support drone will deal damage in a radius and can temporarily weaken allied operators' defense. Oh, that's what that one was. Have operators skilled in anti-air combat shoot them down in advance, and some of the stress on direct combat can be alleviated. Just gonna...
First aid boxes for medication is here. Take it.
Ah, a mercenary called in another air support drone up ahead. Melantha, I can come help you. Okay. So, okay, so I can't really do much here, but...
Alright, please, you will fall. Unforgivable.
Right, there we go, that's one. There we go.
I really did it? I managed to protect everyone by myself?
Okay, I need to check this now, because I'm surprised I've forgotten. Oh, it is! For some reason, I've just... Yeah, I don't have it. I could have swore there was less red in her outfit. I could have swore it was like a darker purple. Like a more bluish side of purple. I somehow Mandela affected an entire Arknights character. I have no idea how I managed that. Also, I need to check this now because I could have... I did not realise. No, I don't have that character. Someone asked if I had, what was their name? Sebas, something like that. I don't. Cesar, yeah. So, yeah, someone thought I might have, and for a moment I was wondering if I did, but no, I don't. I think it's in the CC shop now if you're interested. Oh, I could have a look then. Maybe in... Oh yeah, it is. Letters from Wessex. Okay. I'll probably look into that later. Okay, go back to the event. Kalt'tsit and the survivors travel on foot to a large oasis where many animals come to slake their thirst. Of course, enemy scouting drones are here too, things that are much less reliant on water. Let's see. Alright, so they start around here. A 2-person choke point with a sniper. And it's low level, so it's not going to be that big of an issue. Yes, you can talk about parts. Yeah. I think I'm still fine with what I've got. It's only level 40. 17 years ago. Okay, this is a little bit further. Look at the map real quick. Oh, I saw that already. Eye of the Priestess, or Eyes of the Priestess. That was mentioned all the way back in when we saw the Priestess in chapter 8. 17 years ago. 3:09 PM. That's the same time. Ursus. Ugh, I thought we were done with Ursus. 147 kilometers northwest from the main course of nomadic city, Chernobyl village. I hate seeing this background again. Because I remember this background. A hamlet. Quick, quick. The doctor says to get warm water. Where would we find warm water so easily? Ask Martha. Ask her if her ask if her family still has any water they boiled this morning. Are you guys incapable of starting a fire? Just cook some water. Emperor above, we beg you. Bless our old dedushka. Dedushka. Is that grandfather? I know babushka is grandmother, or like old lady or something. And I know matushka is like mother. Bless our old dedushka. I don't know. Excuse me, what's happening here? Who's the doctor you mentioned? Oh, you're... who are you? Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Connor? Your clothes mean you're from the city, right? Sorry, we're busy aiding someone right now. If you don't mind, come with me this way. At least you'll have a place to sit. It's okay, I came here to find that doctor, as it happens. What's her name? You're not here to... She's just a shady doctor. Do you have great trust in her? But she's all we have who can save our Dadushka. I beg you, I'm begging you, at least just for now. She's only a doctor here to save us. I'm not here to seize her. I just have a little business with her. Could you show me the way? I don't know if... I'm a doctor too. Perhaps I can help. Be of help. Oh. Even a burden beast would know you're a scholar, seeing your clothes. I mean, maybe that burden beast probably isn't a good judge of character. I mean, I wear a lab coat half of my time. I don't think anyone would accuse me of being a doctor, though. Or being particularly smart. You can tell Dr. Kalt'tsit something first. Tell her her student Lilia's here to visit her. And ask her if she needs any assistance or not. Ah, so you know the doctor's name. And you're Lilia, is that right? Good. Truly a wonderful name. Wait here a moment, I'll go right now. Hey, don't forget to ask Martha to bring warm water over. Lab coat karma model when? Oh god, maybe someday. Grit your teeth and keep holding on. Kalt'tsit. What's going on here? Hi, she's got a normal outfit. Damn, you've had this outfit for 17 years? I suppose if it suits, if it works, then no need to change it. Does she have any... No, that's Babel, isn't it? That's not road, that's a Babel logo, that's a tower. Interesting. Unless she's always had that. I'm fairly certain I've seen the horse though, so maybe not. That's just a medic symbol? Is it? No, I've never seen the tower for the medic symbol. It's always just been the lines. Like the star symbol. Or the asterisk or whatever. It's always the same? Okay, I was just wondering. I do remember there being a tower symbol for Babel, so I wasn't sure. I guess I just haven't paid much attention to it for now. I think I must have always assumed it was a horse head for thing. Babel isn't Rook? Is it not? Different tower, but yes. Oh yeah, why did I think horse? Why did I think... For some reason I've considered Rhode Island as having a horse. That's really weird. I don't know why. Or maybe it is. I don't know. I'm getting lost now. I think I've... Rhode Island's Rook. Okay, so Rook is tower. Yeah, okay, so Babel is... And Babel had pointed. Oh, okay. It's clearly been a while since I've seen Babel, hasn't it? I don't think I paid much attention during the the babble side of Vigil. I mean, obviously I paid attention, but I don't think I was looking too much at the art. I think I was just reading the lines. Underneath it says links in phonetic Cyrillic. Is it? I wouldn't be able to read it. Attacked by a wild beast. This is just emergency treatment. Oh yeah, how was Vigilor? It was quite interesting. I was left with more questions than answers, I feel, but I quite liked the individual stories. Knife. Where was it? I can't find. Here, hand. An infected creature? Correct. Any risk of infection? Most infected creatures are cleaner than people imagine. By the tooth marks, a tusk beast roaming the vicinity. But if it's come into contact with active originium, infected creatures may have methods to coexist with pathogens, but humans do not. I wouldn't exactly consider originium a pathogen, though, but okay. The situation is severe. This is not originium infection alone. Additional necrosis symptoms are present. Only partially, though. Yeah, I didn't realize she was referring to, like, other infections that you can get. It hurts so much. Calm down now. Take deep breaths. Difficulty breathing, likely thrombosis. Thrombosis, rather. All symptomatic of acute oropathy. But doesn't oropathy make crystals grow out of your skin? Our Dadushka is fine, see, isn't he? Oh, they don't realize people have oropathy until they start showing visible symptoms. In certain circumstances, the source of infection ends up rapidly circulating through the blood and won't present visible originium crystals like regular cases of oropathy do. Infection symptoms intensify with a short time, very quickly. Oh, this is the So this is the acute oropathy that I've been mentioned before, where apparently you can infect people if you have acute oropathy. Let me see then. Let's see how this goes. If we don't suppress it via drugs... Emperor above. Emperor above. You've learned a lot. I just had a random flashback during Zirkuzana where I had to explain to a VTuber that the Mafia was real and some people are just evil and some rob and steal. Really? Really? Someone didn't know the Mafia existed? Wow. Syringes are inside the grey medical kit. Here, you carried a suppressant like this with you? Oh, you carried a suppressant like this with you, right? There's always times of need. Wait, Doctor, is this expensive? Thinking about that at a time like this? To be fair, if you never looked it up, Mafia does sound like a movie thing. I suppose. Eh. It's affordable. You have no need to worry. Our top priority right now is suppressing your acute oropathic responses and prevent an originium crystal dust outburst. You don't want the others in the village to suffer because of you, correct? Steady breaths, relax. You'll be fine. Alright. Doctor, I don't want to become infected. I'm very sorry. I... Suffocation. We don't have a respirator. God, we've gone straight into Grey's Anatomy right now. We have nothing here, but that doesn't mean we can't do nothing. Bring the inhaler over. Doctor! Doctor, I'm begging you. Save this Tsushka of ours. Damn it. The moment originium dust permeated his his wounds, it was inevitable he'd become an infected. And all I can do is strive to extend his life. Has the suppressant still not taken effect? Considering the patient's age, the suppressant itself was a tremendous risk. Hold your nerve. His what again? Oh god, what did I say? Breathing has stabilized some. Is he better now? Is his sickness gone? In terms of his acute symptoms, possibly. But if you mean his oropathy, we can do nothing. No one can do anything. How could this... Then if the man from the patrol unit comes by, then just give me. Give me up. I only had so long left anyway. Infected? Fine, so be it. Just as long as you don't let the eggheads in here run their mouths. No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't. We just have to hide you. We won't let anybody find you. We'll all hide you safely. Doctor, thank you so much, Doctor. Things may not have turned out best, but we don't have much to repay you with either. This is merely a doctor's duty. The path ahead of becoming an infected is what you truly need to consider. I'm very sorry. That circumstances could not permit me to do more. Suppressant is infected. Is infected? Suppressant is effective, but wounds are still infected. It may lead to worsening of thrombosis. We may have to operate an excise. Your judgment is correct, good sir. Please bear with this. Alright. Actual goodish scenario in Ursus? Wow. Yeah, let's just pretend that they don't get the entire village erased because the patrol units end up finding him. That probably won't happen, surely. Surely not. Sorry about that, Lilia. A long time no see, Director Kalt'tsit. Long time no see. Let's walk and talk. Oh boy, operation without anesthetic. Yeah, certainly not an era I would like to live in. Perhaps you're not enthused about conversing with me like this after that bloodbath, but from the bottom of my heart, I'm glad you're still alive. So after that, you hid here this whole time. From the hill over there, you can see out to Chernobog's skyscrapers. If it were me, I wouldn't opt to shelter so near a cityway. God, I wonder how long it's been. I know this is 17 years from current timeline, but how long has she been hiding in this hamlet? Can't even get tooth decay scrap without anesthetic. Yeah, honestly, it must have been an absolute nightmare. I'm just thinking about all the times they had to do like military surgeries, like pre-World War One, like, you know, American Civil War eras and Napoleonic times and all that, having to do all that and amputations and all that bullshit with literally nothing but like tons of alcohol and like a rag in your mouth to stop you screaming. Like it's literally not a fun time in the medical field at that point. I'm just glad that they can give us stuff to completely clonk us out. I'm only stopping over for the moment, nothing more. What have you been doing ever since? I heard doctors preferred the club method back then. I would take that, honestly. If they could just whack me across the head with a bat or something, I would be fine with any operation. Like if that's the case, yeah, fine. Just fuck me up, fam. Just make sure I'm out of it. I don't wish for the hate between you to continue flowing unabated. In particular, it's a hatred that will not only cause one to find their own ruin, but will strongly attract direct reprisal from those murderers. You're telling me all this on purpose, aren't you? I won't deny that, Lilia, but... Dr. Kalt'tsit, you're leaving? It's... my student. No alarm. She can pick... She came to pick me up. Ah, I see. But, well... pick you up? Oh, Emperor above. You're going after all, then? If you're going, please tell us. You cured my daughter, so at least let us send you off properly. I will. Alright, alright. Then, we'll leave you two alone. You have to tell us before you go, please, Dr. Kalt'tsit. Don't forget. The people here seem to like you. They've shown enough goodwill already. I've merely done my work as a doctor. They're the ones who live true Ursus lives. We've spent so long in the research institute. There's plenty we've forgotten. Even positioning themselves near a cityway couldn't bring them opportunity, nor prosperity. Precisely the opposite. A tyrant official with subordinate power took hold there, exploiting the poor folk to offer the patrol unit yet more convenient soil. So they can't even find one run-of-the-mill doctor graduated from the medical school, and one run-of-the-mill flu strain could kill a tender young girl. Your horizons are vast. Yes, they've always been. You'd still treat a flu for someone. You thought I was a scientist who gesticulated at papers and data? Well, to be honest, you're more a doctor than I even imagined. Perhaps I always was a doctor. What changes is only the treatment subject and the locus to contend with. It's why your students put so much faith in you. Lilia, how's your daughter? I left her with a friend of mine. She has no connection to all this whatsoever. You know how young she is. She doesn't even speak yet. She hasn't begun to walk. And I left behind my child just like that. You could have chosen not to do this. If you wanted Louisa to live on, identity concealed, you should know what I think, Director Kalt'tsit. I just want to try and stop you. But if not even your daughter can stall your step, perhaps my words won't reach you either. That's right. I'm quite clear about that. Winter's so cold this year. Vampilov's father went mad from his son's death. He kept Foul Beast penned in a loft by the lake, and every day would fantasize for a while he was going hunting with his son. Ilya's child, Ludmilla, she's still young, but already comprehends certain irreversible things. Nobody even knows how she's doing nowadays. And Romanovich, too. His family sold off their whole estate and left that city. Even if his brothers never believed in any accident, there were people to shut them up. I hope that means just tell them to shut up and not literally killed them. And for even more, the police announced it was an accident down to the finest thing. In that list of accidental casualties, not a single person had left Chernobog's research institute. An experimental accident leading to a chain reaction, and reported identities of bodies provided by the military. But a kind of intuition tells me some are alive. Intuition? Because afterwards, all relatives of the victims, more or less, received anonymous aid, as well as a warning. I don't think that spineless, incompetent Count Boris, nor Sergei, that traitor, would have any mercy in them. So, someone else knows something. Knows what happened. Someone else who knows what happened has to have survived. But it took until today, 3 years later, before I found you. It took until today. You hid so well, and even fooled the secret police's eyes. They rely too much on Ursus's latest technology for criminal investigation. It actually created an opening for me. Of course, you're a hailed genius, an incomparable research leader. That's why everyone embraces you so. Please tell me, Lilia, how many people signed on to your plan? 6 or 7, maybe even more. We don't dare meet together in public. We might be caught, used for leverage. That includes me. All lost things that in that accident they can never have back. When did you start plotting all of this? From the moment I found out the 4th Army's lackeys fired the first bolts in the research institute, mercilessly shredding the father of my children's throat. From that moment I started. Lilia. Don't take me as a brave fool. Even if my health gives me so little time to work with you all, I've still accomplished one thing or another, such as you found the whereabouts of Grand Duke Vanya, the Pine Valley retreat, situated beyond any nomadic city. Oh. And this former 4th Army staff officer was also highly likely to be a Grand Duke of Ursus actualizing the sarcophagus incident. Perhaps right in the frailest, weakest position of his endlessly long campaign career. You want to conduct an assassination, Lilia, but this act of vengeance can still be considered bravely foolish. I can finally see why my husband... Why that Astrov looked up to you so. Astrov? What does that mean? I'm assuming that's a term, because she says that's Astrov. But you must know, Lilia, assassinating an old Grand Duke will have no significance at all. Maybe from the start, Vanya, the man so decrepit he needs cardiac stimulant injections when he gives speeches, was not the real murderer. I know, Kalt'tsit, I know. But do you really think, when I entrusted Louisa to someone else, it was just for a rational ending? A so-called fair trial? As if you can't guess, Kalt'tsit. Blind revenge will only cause you to lack foresight. Astrov can be considered a Slavic family name, a bit atypical, but wouldn't raise eyebrows. Okay. It just seemed weird that the way that she said it, that's Astrov. It just made it sound like she was calling him something. Kalt'tsit. Perhaps you couldn't understand. Louisa never even learned to say papa. You can sit. How long have you spent in here? Not worth mentioning. Lilia, you look awful. You need to rest. How did you find me? Just sheer chance. If not for sheer chance, perhaps I'd have never learned you were still alive. Ludmilla, we didn't want our children coming to too much harm, so at first we planned to look for her. But then we learned from Ludmilla's housekeeper that someone was sustaining contact with them, aiding them, someone anonymous. But she seemed to know it all, inside and out. The same anonym had even set up a way for her to leave Ursus. It was only then I was sure that some were still alive, and to my knowledge, very few could accomplish something like that. Have some tea. Here I imagined you'd be itching to ask me about my business at the retreat. Lilia, I imagine the one who's really itching here is you. And you knew all along exactly where Vanya was. You're really just going to sit on the sidelines. You should know all the secrets he's holding on to. The true secrets have already been sealed for eternity, in that research institute. Thanks to Ilya's perseverance, even now, the army haven't been able to find a single scrap of the gains they were drooling for. Ostrov is a common name, and unstressed O is often pronounced A in East Slavic languages, hence Astrov when a non-speaker writes it down. Right. Hello, Karma, keeping the dust off you. Managing, maybe. Also, hello, Azur. And Grand Duke Vanya is incredibly ill. He'll recuperate at Pine Valley every winter. Provided you have any way to sneak into a so-called high-class salon even once, it's not hard to come by the information. He even brags all over about how the retreat is so beautiful and vast. Correct. There's no shortage of Ursus soldiers with outstanding service there. And of course, bureaucrats and nobles too. Infiltrating it and assassinating a Grand Duke would be as absurd as you, in Chernobog, charging into Count Boris's house with a knife, slitting his throat open, and then escaping, again untouched. You're right, but for those bureaucrats and nobles, security in there is still weak enough to make people restless. I won't deny that, but how do you know that's not a signal? One that Grand Duke Vanya is no longer an important figure, or that his fate has already been set by certain people? I've told you, Kalt'tsit. What I want isn't a fair trial. It's to make it clear that what I long for is a lynching. Now's not the time to discuss justice or morality, Kalt'tsit. Only those who can rest easy at night enjoy using objectivity as a shield. Whether Grand Duke Vanya is censored by the military or the Emperor, becomes a scapegoat, stands the wrong side in political conflict, suffers banishment, is stowed away by the army. No matter what, even if he dies miserably in the end at the gallows, what business of that is what business is that of mine? It was him who pushed for all of Chernobog to sink into deeper ruin, and all I know is he should pay the price. He should pay the price to us. He's the murderer who killed my child's father. Kalt'tsit, I'm listening. I've already figured out how to infiltrate the retreat, but I also need to admit, even if the security there is suspiciously weak, that doesn't mean any of us can pull this off smoothly. One of these people in this group that she's talking about is bound to have told them, they're bound to have tipped them off. There's no way all these people who haven't even met together yet are all legit. There's no way. This just sounds way too perfect of an opportunity for her. I found a breach. Someone who's been in charge of security at that noble's sanatorium for 30 plus years, but hasn't had the guts to make much side money off it for fear of nobles. I prepared a huge sum with my colleague's help. That complete life failure who we all saw could retire any day caved in instantly. We spent immense effort to gain his trust. I was simply the daughter of a country upstart who wanted to intern at the retreat to get close with some noble or officer. But you want me to help you? Yes, forging any identity has risks no matter what, but to my mind, the retreat and the information agency wouldn't be that tied up, so if even the secret police are fooled into thinking you're dead, then death will be your open road. In 1080, the sarcophagus incident's surviving Sergei established a brand new research institute. The same year, Count Boris vastly expanded Chernobog's industrial region. The Fourth Army's messengers, for the first time in history, found the Count's door was closed to them. Yeah, I remember this bit from Chapter 8. They weren't particularly happy about about the army not having control anymore. Ludmilla was still young, and Louisa was but one amongst countless children, so Kalt'tsit thought she could comprehend that Lilia as a mother had complex, cruel expectations of these children. And after the Chernobog core city's engine underwent its umpteenth major maintenance, it still turned with a rumble. And now we shall play a map that has absolutely nothing to do with Ursus. Sure. Ah. Yes.
Good scenery here, Doctor.
Would be too much work to edit a drone hangar into an Ursus map.
Ooh, we're counting on you again today, little apple.
I'll take the lead. The rest is up to you guys.
Ah, yeah, you're not particularly useful here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boop. Yeah, let me just boop this. Okay, this is gonna be easy anyway. I'm putting way more operators than I need. Okay, there it is. I didn't even realize there was a... I didn't realize the drone died already. I do find these early missions quite funny for events because it's like you go through a long process of, you know, long cutscenes, and then it's like this that I just put someone down. I probably could have put far less than this down and it would be fine. So anyway, with that delay out of the way, let's go back to the story. 17 years ago, 1:37 p.m. clear. Central Ursus, Pine Valley Retreat, Dining Hall. Huh. Why do I feel like this probably would have taken a considerable amount of convincing for her to go this route. I mean, she's smart enough to do it, but I feel like she'd also be like, surely there's another role I could take. She looks good in it, though. Sir, your coffee. Are you new? I am, sir. Then ask around about how to take my coffee. Bring it to me again once you let it cool. You damn feline. Ugh. Feline? You disgusting wretch. I didn't go to war to have a feline take care of me. Get out of my sight. My utmost apologies, sir. This is my oversight. Please don't tell the head caretaker. I'll prepare it again for you right away. If you don't want to lose your job, you have 3 minutes to do it over properly. I feel like things aren't going to... It's not going to call in 3 minutes, you moron. Also, I like the veteran-like person. Is he a veteran? Does he just look like a veteran? Maybe he's one of those generals that have never actually fought in the war but has all of the participation medals. Imagine Monster bringing in a new cup over. I would absolutely love that. Like, you know Kalt'tsit is just cursing this man under her breath. Also, is something wrong with your eyes? If you don't know how to smile, I'll tear that face off of yours. Please don't. I'm very sorry to displease you. I'll go and redo it right now. Servants these days. It's a nice figure all you have to offer. I'm very sorry, sir. Please do not get angry. It would be highly detrimental to your condition. Ha! I feel like that's her just saying, you old fart. Submissive cow. Calm down now, Ayum. Calm down. Calm down, chat. I see you lot going over the maid's Kalt'tsit. I'm sure she's old enough to be your great-grandmother. Great. Maybe great. Out of the way. Yes, very sorry. It is so weird seeing her act so... It's so weird seeing her act so just like... Miss? Hey, miss. Are you referring to me? Yeah, that's right, miss. I saw the whole thing just now. Don't you lose heart. That's a patrol unit head, you know. You could say people like that have no right coming to the retreat. Ha! Oh, I like that. It's always great when you have that one old maid or butler or a caretaker and they look at some of the fancy people and they're just like, You don't own the right to be here. They're like just as snobby as them. They're one of the best kind of servers. He certainly isn't a noble. Does he not worry about offending others, acting so tyrannically? They say some count's very fond of him. And not just that. Coming here for his battlefield condition. I heard that's hokum. But he hasn't stepped foot on a battlefield in his life. I'll bet he hasn't. I was literally saying that earlier. One of those generals who have never actually been in battle, but because of their position, they get all of the achievement medals and all of the I was there recognition. I literally called it from the moment. Unfortunately, I called it because he reminded me of some of the British generals in the past, but we'll gloss over that. So North Korean general, yeah. Well, I suppose it also makes sense with the Russians as well. The more so Soviets, but I guess the Imperial Russia probably did it as well. I don't know, but they gave medals out quite regularly and upped their their generals and all that quite a lot. I mean, I remember the whole thing with what was his name, General Zhukov, I think. And he had so many medals that in the movie the satire movie about him, they had to remove medals off of his costume design because they thought it would be considered too ridiculous among the viewers. They had to tone down the real medal count that this general had. Yeah, Death of Stalin, exactly, yeah, that was the movie. In the satire movie, where everything's exaggerated, they had to restrict the amount of medals, the real medals, that the real person got, because they thought that people would consider it to be too ridiculous. So it doesn't surprise me that we've got these generals in Ursus that are like, oh, the wars I've been in. And then it turns out they were in an office half the time. I mean, I get it. Sometimes the battle against the photocopier is a real struggle, especially when the paper gets jammed in the side, that side component, it takes ages to pull out. Like, it can be a real battle, but that's not a war. I heard he helped the Count do some dirty work, and got sent here so he could keep his head down. With a supporter like that, and with people like us, of course he lets all hell bells loose. A Count. I never imagined a scoundrel like that could climb high enough to befriend a Count. It is so weird seeing you act so naive and innocent. Like, you are a really good actress. Really good. Unless she's saying it with heavy sarcasm, but I imagine she's just doing a good job at acting. That's how it is. Who knows when one day he'll be made some lord of somewhere, dressed all clean and fine and sitting behind some enormous desk. Ugh. Well, I mean, that's basically Ursus today. Well, Ursus but with an R. Anyway, don't you get angry. Piss off people like that and you'll wish it was an Originium slug attack stuck to you instead. What on terror is a fine young girl like you even doing working out here? Never tell anyone I told you this, and don't go asking about, or else you'll get burnt. Yes, I understand. Thank you. Ugh. Next time you see him, stay away a little. Heaven knows what he'll do to you. Is that the new doctor? Okay, I can imagine Kalt'tsit's now just thinking like, of course she gets to be the doctor and I get here acting like the maid. like I can't, like I know Kalt'tsit would be on board with this 100%, but I can't imagine her being happy about this. Like she's probably grumbling in her head, like, all the years I've walked this earth and I'm being a bloody maid to a bunch of... Doctor? God, every time I see that outfit... Am I going to need to get, like, a spray bottle or something for some of you in chat? Ursus, where the only requirement to count as qualified is to wear the right cloth, pretty much. Oh, so you know each other. Then I'll get out of your way. Definitely not break time after all. Take care, and don't let the head caretaker see you. I hope nothing happens to this person. I hope nothing happens to them. Says the guy who simps for every male character in game. Okay, look, just... But, like, it's not that bad, right? And hey, I mean, there was Monica and, or Monique, rather, not Monica, and, what's her name? Why have I forgotten her name all of a sudden? Radiant. What's her name? Shit. Nell. Needs I remind you of Demetric? Shush, okay? Alright. Shush. Like, oh, this is backfired. Oh, God. All the third getters from the right. Oh, God. Okay. I get it. I get the point. I won't complain about chat thirsting. She cares a lot about us newcomers. It's a good one. You're right, Dr. Louisa. Wow, you used your own daughter's name. We cannot let her down. Admittedly, Speedy, you probably should have just given up and used a different race name. Because it's clearly not doing you any favors with the autocorrect. Let me just I got a message. Will you be busy with work in a bit? There's some things I'd like to tell you. Apologies, Doctor. I still need to brew a new cup of coffee. If that Count's pet doesn't continue to pick bones with me, I'll find you right after. I don't think Karma is into cactuses, no. Yeah, they're a bit of a prick. Alright then, remember to be careful, Kalt'tsit. Dr. Louisa. It's... Wait, that was a pun. Yes, it was indeed a pun. It's just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us. No, okay, no, that's just wrong. It's just the two of us now. Kalt'tsit, you should be using an alias. Hey, I was about to bring that up. Louisa, borrowing your daughter's name, a disguise of that level is purely for humiliating the secret police. In their eyes, I'm already dead. And after this incident, I'll leave Ursus and may not be able to return for a very long time. I suppose it was about, what, 17 years? I guess that was enough. Still nice looking retirement home for soldiers who achieved nothing while people starving. Yeah, that sounds about right, isn't it? Nobody will know the Grand Duke's death was a murder. The next time they come to the Grand Duke's side, they will only discover that in his old age, his breathing stopped. Will Ursus technology not be enough to analyze the poison you've made? No, it's potassium. Potassium... something. I've forgotten the name. Potassium iodide? No. Ah, shit. What's the one that gives people a heart attack? And it's not... you can't detect it in the body because it's just broken up by the body itself. It's potassium something. It might be potassium iodide, but I feel like it's not. It's potassium something. I'm going to put myself on the list purely for the sake of research. Bear with me 1 second. In Ursus, ethanol would have the same effect. Potassium poison. Well, to answer your question, bananas are poisonous. Potassium poisoning bananas is apparently a thing, so think about that the next time you're eating a banana. But... no. Not that one. That's not potassium. It's not potassium cyanide. That's a different thing. Potassium heart attack. God, why can't Google just be, you know... Come on, Google. Just tell me how to kill someone with potassium. It's not that difficult. Oh, right, yes. Orville Lynn. I forgot about that person. Oh, I don't know. Now you're on several watch lists. Oh yeah, I'm definitely on a watch list somewhere. Watch this board get flagged. We're far enough into the video, it should be fine. I know there's also botulinum toxin, but I'm fairly certain that's detected. I was trying to be smart, and now I've spent ages looking how to poison people without it being detected, just because I was dumb enough to forget the thing. God, I need to just pay attention to story and not constantly go off on random tangents. At present, I assure you this exceeds their understanding of what a poison is. For how many years can your knowledge stay ahead of Ursus, Director? The Empire's progress has already surpassed what I imagined, but these are not details we need to discuss right now. Potassium chloride is already... Potassium chloride! It literally, potassium chloride. Because I was literally just looking at it, I was like, it's salt. That's potassium chloride injection will give you a heart attack, and and because it breaks up in the body easily, and because the body already has potassium and chlorine in it, it's not detectable. There we go. A bit overdue, but there it is. Great, now I'm watch 2 for assault. Oh, god damn it. I mean, to be fair, I'm a writer. It's probably fine. They probably know that most of the time I look things up, it's for writing. Maybe. I mean, I've certainly looked up more dodgy stuff than that. So it's probably fine. Lilia, your hoped for arbitration can only end in this way. Aren't you a chemist? I'm a lab technician, so I'm not that knowledgeable on... I know enough to do stuff, but I'm not like, you know, a full-on, like, you know, bachelor or master's or anything like that. I'm more of the practical side of it. You know about the kid who built a nuclear reactor in his garage? Oh yeah, I heard about that. That was funny. And apparently they had been watching him the entire time and didn't do anything until he got the material. None of you have the means to seek further revenge. It is unreasonable. Only the paramount Emperor of Ursus would be capable of erasing the Grand Duke's honour, significance, and all else. I know. Good. In that case, is this the place? Yes, we have no idea what Grand Duke Vanya is chronically afflicted with. But I found out from what the head caretaker... I found out from the head caretaker that every afternoon at 3, Vanya will leave his own monitoring room and come here to relax. There's no way this kid can make a nuclear reactor at home. Oh, hey, my plutonium's arrived. That's not too far off from how it works. Like, because technically speaking, you're not supposed to spy on your own citizens, even with the Patriot Act. The way it works is you can see what they're doing, but you can only monitor them until it reaches a point where you think that it's gone too far, that it's reached a point where, oh, something can act out on it. So that's the point where they stepped in. So they didn't come to stop it until he already had the material for it. If I'm remembering the story correctly, because they had to wait until there was actionable evidence that something was going to happen. Nuclear reactors are just big steam engines. Yeah, pretty much. Although, to be fair, that's most power plants are big steam engines, except for the ones like, you know, solar, wind, and hydro. Those push the dynamo themselves, but the well, solar doesn't. Solar's just its own thing. But the what's it called? I've forgotten the name. Pretty much any other power plant that uses heat is it's basically a big steam boiler. Man, who would have guessed that spying is illegal? Well, that's the thing, because with the Patriot Act it technically isn't, but it technically is at the same time. It's kind of weird. Thermal? Well, depends. Geothermal is still... Geothermal still heats up the water, doesn't it? If I remember correctly. They dig down to divert the heat out, and that boils water to do the steam engine. He sunbathes here until sunset. When he has the occasional guests, he'll have his dinner right here with them. Word you're looking for, thermal plant. Oh, right, yeah. Steam is meta. It really kind of is, to be fair. We really haven't changed that drastically since the Industrial Revolution. It's just been a more advanced version of the same thing. There is some things, like for example the nuclear reactor on the Mars rover doesn't boil any water or anything. Instead, the heat is converted directly into electricity with like a thermal, I forgot what it's called, like thermal electrovoltaic or something random like that. That one is completely heat to energy without steam as a medium. But that's pretty much it. Wasn't there a fine for setting off nuclear bombs in New York City? I love the idea of that. Just a fine. Like you've just wiped out half a city, but you're gonna have to pay a couple £100 for that, mate. Our modern conventional weaponry is how to throw rocks really hard. I mean, true when you consider depleted uranium shells are basically just heavy metal, which comes from the ground, which is a type of rock. There's no way we can get close to the Grand Duke's room, but as for here, we're standing right here. Yes. But he won't be without bodyguards. The whole corridor will be sealed off when the time comes. Well, that is why we have a maid, to give him his food and drink. Apart from any guests cleared to be with the Grand Duke, only his medical advisor, as well as the servants, are allowed to enter this area. Even so, the Ursus nobles won't permit the workers to come to this balcony freely. We've already waited for so long. The longer we spend, the riskier this gets. I understand. There has to be some gap. There has to be an opening. The Grand Duke's medical advisors work in shifts, so it might be me before we know it. Today or perhaps tomorrow. In accordance with Chico City Ordinance, anyone detonating an atomic bomb within city limits will be fined $500 in the city of Alhambra. I love that. Like, surely, if that had happened, the material damage, let alone the loss of life, would be way more than $500. Like, who calculated that? Like, there are road fines in the UK that are worse than that. And you can't even compound fines in the UK. You can only get one fine. It doesn't build up and you get more money and you have to pay more. They're still worse than that. I just can't. I mean, obviously they'll still be arrested. I mean, obviously, but it's like, it's just funny to think that you'll just blow up a place and then. My favourite was still that it is illegal to sexually harass trash bins in Florida. Oh no. That means the Trailblazer is going to be in deep trouble. In Germany, you can go to prison for setting up a nuclear weapon. See, now that's reasonable. Like, that makes sense. Like, you would go to prison for setting up a nuclear bomb. Like, that makes sense. Lilia, tell me the truth. After the Duke dies, what will you do? Why ask this now? We should be focusing on what's before us. I'm hoping you can answer me with reality. Before we reached Pine Valley, every time I see this I want to say Pine Soot, it's really annoying me now. I received one final letter from Vampilov's family. Sergei is still diligently serving Boris, and the city has changed course. Perhaps this is the start of something changing. I think in Scotland you can kill people from Wales after 9 p.m. legally with a bow or stuff like that. What? That's kind of the thing with countries that are so old, where there are laws that just go out of people's idea, yet they still exist simply because no one's thought of getting rid of them, mainly because people just sort of forget. They killed so many people, yet their conscience is still so clear. They rest so easily. You found out about Sergei's betrayal. But no excuse can bring back the dead. Or in one place in USA, women are only allowed to drive if a husband would walk in front of the car with a red flag. There's a joke that I want to say, but it would be way too edgy. So I'm not going to say it. I'm going to be good. Sergei can't offer any further scientific assistance. Perhaps in a few years they'll formally call a halt to the project, and then I'll just sit back and watch Sergei and Boris continue to collude or to trample over everything. Though Grand Duke Vanya will be dead, you don't plan to stop. There's no way I can pardon Sergei. The first time I met him, Astrov was drunk, hugging me so excited, telling me all about how he had such upstanding, excellent colleagues. He looked forward to this project like no one else, and I supported him. I supported him with all I could. Well, you have to tell us now, you piqued our interest. No. Let's just say it would be very stereotypical. You can glean what you want from it. Even up to now. Director Kalt'tsit, you know everything, don't you? If you won't speak up, I'll return to Chernobyl. I'll settle things once and for all. Vampirov's family have an escape route to Sami ready for me, but maybe I wouldn't get the chance to hitchhike with any messengers, and you... I do plan to. Of course. I'm very well aware I'm setting myself alight, so Kalt'tsit, no matter whether you plan to confess all the facts to me or not, at the very least, there's one thing I want you to agree to. I know I'm doing something insane right now, and I know maybe you're the one in the right, but right now, I only have one request. Look after my daughter. Look after Louisa. The next generation doesn't need to inherit the hassle of hatred. Even if nobody can escape the cycle in the end, at least promise me, Kalt'tsit. Look after her, if you can. Please look after Ludmilla too. Well, she kind of failed with Ludmilla on that one, not gonna lie. Does anything happen with Louisa? Is Louisa somewhere in Rhode Island? Did she die in... Babel, maybe? That would be unfortunate. Her daughter is Operator Frolic? Oh! Oh, so she is then. Okay, interesting. Dr. Louisa? Dr. Louisa, where are you? She appears in Twilight of Woolmund if you want to get to know her. Oh yeah, I started on that, but then I never actually completed it. I might stream that then, at some point in the future. Here, please wait one moment. Kalt'tsit, I promise you. This is simply a mother's final wish. I will see Louisa grow up. Thank you. Astrov. The last time he held little Louisa's hand, he told me something half-jokingly. He said he hoped little Louisa will become a medical researcher just like me. And when Louisa's old enough to go to school, he hoped you'd be her very first teacher. Well, I guess that did happen at least. Maybe there is some happiness in Arknights. I see. Those were the very last words he said to his daughter before he suddenly went to the Institute that night. Oh, Doctor, here you are. Perfect. If you were any later, the head caretaker would have gone ballistic. Doctor, what's got your eyes all red? Did something happen? Nothing. What's the matter? It's time to make the rounds. I wasn't even paying attention. Right, I understand. Is there some kind of commotion over there? Yes. Seems an old nobleman's come from far off. Don't know for what. As long as the days go by smooth, that's what matters. Who? Hello? Oh! You! I remember you from the very end of the, of Chapter 8. You're a curious one. Excuse me. We're currently making rounds. It seems you weren't on the list for scheduled visitors. Can I ask who you are? Just an Ursus citizen, here on a whim. Looking to meet an old friend. Do carry on, madam. I hope I don't bother any of you in your work. There's something about him that seems so incredibly different from the rest of Ursus. Like I was thinking that in Chapter 8 as well, and it's kind of the reason why I sort of gave him an almost British accent in a way. Like there's something about him that seems like from a different nation almost. Manners, he isn't an arsehole. Well, I suppose there's that as well, but like I just mean in general, like from from the way he dresses and the way he talks, it's quite different to a lot of the Ursus people, even the Ursus nobility. I mean, he is an Ursus, but that doesn't necessarily mean much. He can be an Ursus and from any other country, but it's weird. There's something about him that seems not typically aligned in the same way that the rest of Ursus is. There it is, yeah. Wit, are you off? There's also that. The name doesn't quite seem very Ursine. No, old friend. I'll see you in a bit. You should be more mindful of your health with winter here. Don't set off that asthma of yours. And yeah, it's just some of the ways he's talking. As you were, madam. I'll be waiting in the hall. His Minister Wit. I don't know if it's Wit or Vit or whatever, but do watch out. Sorry. The Grand Duke didn't know you were visiting. It's our negligence on the job to blame. As a token of apology, the Grand Duke would like you to have dinner with him. Wow, that is... This guy makes everyone sound posh and polite. Which only means he must be incredibly scary. We hope you understand. The Grand Duke is ill, and if not for that, he would have greeted you himself. Huh? Huff. I'm sorry. I'm greatly sorry. What's wrong with you? In the presence of the minister... Oh, even the veteran is acting all... Even the veteran guy is acting all, you know, posh and polite now. Oh, nothing. Just some alcohol spilled on the bed sheets. Calm down. Madam, what happened? Oh, I'm sorry. the cap on the isopropyl, the isopropyl bottle was too tight, and I applied too much force. That place has too many open windows. Yeah, they kind of didn't. So, Islamwit is named after a Russian reformer under Tsar Nicholas II. Oh, okay. See, I didn't consider that word particularly linked to Russia. It seemed almost German in a way. So I just always assumed maybe like, you know, a non-national or something. Or maybe it still is. I don't know. I mean, people will have names regardless of where they're from. You could have just asked someone to help. Sorry, so sorry. I'll go fetch a towel right now. Poor her. As for the Grand Duke's invitation, I do regret that my messenger is still waiting for me, and I can't stay for so long. I just got Chongyu. Nice! Wit was Baltic German. Oh, okay. Do pass a message on to Vanya. Tell him to rest up with peace of mind here. Though he should remember also that this is a meritorious place for those our Majesty gives favour, and not another social hub for the nobility to mingle in. Got it. If you could just hold on, the Grand Duke will be very sad to hear. This is official business. If I have to choose between Our Majesty and the Grand Duke, I'm forced to wrong the Grand Duke Vanya. You should have spoken sooner. If that's so, the Grand Duke will surely empathise with you. May your road be ever green. Send him my regards. Dr. Louisa, what's wrong? Kalt'tsit, who is he? Viscount Islam Wit. So how is it pronounced then? Is it Wit? Is it Wit? I'm not... Witte? I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it. You recognize him? Ursus's new Minister of Finance. A fresh noble with deep favour from the Emperor. It's alright, Dr. Lisa. I have only surface knowledge of his character, and I don't know specifically how he made his fortune. But... Witte. Okay. But what I do know is he's a present pillar who the Emperor of Ursus has personally assisted. And young elites like him can only have their sights set on the whole of Ursus. To the waves of crisis crashing against the Empire, the crisis of Chernobog are mere tiny ripples. Even a Grand Duke of Ursus. Hold on. The Minister of Finance came to Pine Valley, yet has no armed entourage. Oh, I don't think so. Emperor's Blades? Oh no, that means them.
Everybody good? We've got another battle waiting for us. Pump yourselves up.
No, he's got an armed entourage, but they're not visible. Surely, there's no way. What time is it? 3 hours. Okay. We haven't gone far, I'm afraid. We've sort of gone back to our old ways of spending a lot of time. Okay, so this is back in the past. Yeah. Okay. But I'm afraid I'll have to leave it here. But this is actually really interesting so far. So it looks like we're going back and forth between the Sargon Columbia bullshit and the Ursus bullshit. And it looks like we're going back to the Sargon Columbia bullshit. But I'm honestly really liking it so far. I think it's a really interesting story. And we're definitely learning a lot more about Kalt'tsit and all the stuff she was doing before Rhode Island. I wonder if this will end with her being at Rhode Island, or at the very least Babel. I wonder if it will go that far. But we'll have to see. In the meantime, though, let me just do my usual plug when I can. I should really get this ready beforehand. But yeah, so for those of you who are new here or haven't already, I have a Discord which I have linked now, and the link should also be in the description. How about custom bot commands? I probably should, now that I have access to permanent links. I definitely should do that. I don't know, I'll check later. His stream's a mix of Arknights history and IRL history. It's literally a walkthrough history. Yeah. Like Stream Alone Spot. Yeah, I did originally have one, but I think I got rid of it because the link stopped working for some reason. So I'll have to make a new one. But yeah, I've also been working on the next the lore video. I've done the voice recordings, I've stitched it together, done some audio, done some of the backgrounds and stuff, but I'm still putting in a lot of it, still putting in some images, still doing some subtitles. I'm hoping to get it done before I go on holiday. So that's been my main focus this week at the moment. And partly why I keep constantly talking about history, because there is a part of it in there. So I keep looking at stuff and like my mind instantly goes into, yes, references and themes and stuff. But yeah, so that's the plan anyway. I'm not sure if I'll stream tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day before I go on holiday until the Thursday. But I'll see if I can, but I might just be focusing completely on my editing and try to push out the video. But we'll see how it goes. Until then, though, thank you guys so much for sticking around, and I shall see you all next time. Bye-bye.